What's going on, everybody? This is Logan here at Vaporleaf today with the Joyetech eVic VTC Dual. This is a modular device that can either run with one 18650 or two 18650s. In single battery mode it'll run up to 75 watts, in dual battery mode it'll run up to 150 watts, and of course we've got temp control support for nickel, titanium, stainless, and even TCR if you want to run custom materials or just want to get it exactly how you want it. This guy also has upgradable firmware to keep it up to date, so let's go ahead and dive down and take a closer look at it.
Alright, so here we are up close and personal with the eVic VTC Dual. First, let's go ahead and check out what you get in the box. Of course, you get the device. If you take that out of there, grab that foam. You got this little box in here. You do have a user manual as well. Inside of this box, you get your single battery bay and a micro USB charger. So first off, the build quality is pretty standard from what you would get from a Joyetech eVic device. It's really nice and solid, the finish is pretty good, the buttons feel just great, the screen looks awesome of course, the micro USB port looks nice and sturdy. The only thing is when there are no batteries in here, this bottom door does get a little bit wiggly, but of course once you get batteries in there that's going to tighten up a lot. You can see for the dual battery mode, this door just flips open. You got your positive connection there, your negative connection there, and it also marks it inside of the device. So the positive side you can see has the negative down in there, and the negative side has the positive side down inside. You get a pretty good looking 510 connection as well. Really nice threads, gold plated 510 connection. Now I can show you how to take this dual battery sled off. All you're going to do is just slide them apart like that. Now I will say that is pretty difficult to do. I'll imagine that it'll start to break in over time, but when it's fresh out of the box like this, it is quite difficult to get apart actually. But yeah, then you've got your little board there. This is just to hold your batteries essentially. You've got a couple connection points on there. And then we can take this single battery bay, and of course round part matching with the round part. Start about halfway on, squeeze them together, and you're now in single battery mode. Now I will say it's not nearly as easy as magnets to just pull off the back and get to your single battery like in the just regular eVic VTC Mini or V2 Mini, but it is pretty easy to get to your batteries in dual configuration, so I think this is really more of a dual battery device that still works pretty nicely in single battery mode. That being said, we're going to go ahead and set it up in the dual battery configuration today. So we'll go ahead and slide this back off, pull that down, put that on about halfway, slide it back together until it clicks in place. Pretty nice seams on this as well. I'm, again, really impressed with the build quality. So we can go ahead and flop that door open, get our positive side down in there, so negative matches with negative, and then get our negative side down in the other one, just like that. Close the battery door and then slide it into place. That'll keep your batteries in there nice and snug. As mentioned, doesn't wiggle around at all with the batteries in there. So when you first put batteries in, it's just going to boot right up, but it's going to be 5 clicks to turn off and 5 clicks to turn back on. Really straightforward stuff. The screen, as I mentioned before, is really nice on this guy. I love the vertical screen from Joyetech, and I like that in the dual battery mode they show you what both of your batteries are at. This is a really nice setup. To get through all the modes and settings, it's going to be 3 clicks on the fire button, pretty much like any other Joyetech device. 1, 2, 3. And then the top will start flashing. We've got power mode, the smart mode, the clock, the temperature control mode, TCR mode, and then back to power mode. Now if we bring it over to temp NI here, we can go to the left, and that'll highlight just the material. Then we can go to the right to cycle between nickel, titanium, and stainless steel 316L. To change your settings in power mode, it is as easy as turning the wattage up. And again, in dual battery mode, it can go all the way up to 150. And adjusting your wattage down. Simple as that, nothing to it. If we go ahead and do those 3 clicks on the fire button, get that power flashing again, go to the right, right again, we get into temp NI here. Now if we go to the left, as I mentioned before, we can choose whatever mode we want to be in. Then if we go left again, we can go down to wattage, and that's just going to cycle back down once you get to the top, or on the new chip you can actually go down, which is really nice. So you can set your wattage to whatever you need it to be there. Now, once you do go down in the power section here, then you can't keep doing left to go down through the menu. So you'd have to tap the fire button and do 3 clicks again, and then you can get down to your resistance and the amperage here. And on the amperage, you can just go to the right to also have your puff counter or your total time vaped. Now, if we do another 3 clicks on the fire button, we can go to the right and get into TCR mode. Now, we've got 3 memory settings for the TCR, M1, M2, and M3. To set the TCR, what we're going to do is do 5 clicks on the fire button to turn the device off, and then hold the fire button and to the right. After a few seconds, the menu is going to pop up with each memory mode for TCR. Then you're basically going to go online and figure out what the coefficient of resistance is for the material that you're using and input it into one of the memory settings. You'll also have a little table in your user manual that will give you some general ideas of what to go with. To get out of this menu, you can either wait for 10 seconds or hold the fire button down. 5 clicks back on, and then we're back in TCR mode. 3 clicks on the fire button, and then to the left, it's going to highlight the M1, and then you can change which memory mode you're in. So you can set a few different memory modes for some different materials without having to go through the hassle of turning it off and going into that menu and setting it every single time. And if we do another 3 clicks on the fire button, we can go to the right, right, to the clock mode. If we go left, we can switch it from analog mode to digital mode, and then back again. Now, if we switch it into digital mode and then go to the left, that's going to highlight the hour, so you can change the hour. Going to the left again, you can change the minutes. Left again, you can start changing the date. Now, in the clock mode here, we're only going to be running in wattage mode, so if you want to run any temp control settings or anything like that, you can do the 3 clicks and get over into whatever temp control setting you want to use. But after the screen times out, then it can go to the clock as the screensaver. Now, to get to the screensaver, we're going to hold the fire button and go to the right while the device is on. That'll bring us into this menu. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to turn it down to 1 minute so that you guys can see it a little bit sooner. And just tap the fire button to get out of that menu, and then it'll go ahead and bring the clock up after the device has been inactive for 1 minute. Like so. If we hold the fire button and go to the left while the device is on, that's going to turn on stealth mode. So if I hold the fire button down, the screen isn't going to come on when I have an atomizer attached. If you hold the fire button into the left again, it's going to reverse that. Stealth off. If we hold up and down at the same time, that's going to lock these 2 buttons on the bottom. You can still use the fire button, but you can't change these at all. So you can get it set to exactly where you want it, lock these, and you won't have to worry about it anymore. To undo that, you just hold them again, and it'll say key unlock. Now we can change those settings again. Now to get back into that menu that I mentioned, fire button into the right, you can change the screen timeout setting to 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or you can stop the screen from timing out. Just put it on the off setting. If we go to the right, we can turn the logo on or off. With that, you can actually customize the screen, put some fun stuff on there, that kind of thing. So the tank I'm going to be running today is the Ultimo tank with a 0.5 ohm coil in there. So we're going to tap the fire button 3 times, get over to the power mode, tap the fire button to get out of the menu, and then go to the right until we get to about 45 watts is about where I like that tank. So we've got it all set up how we want it. Let's bring it up top and see how it vapes.
So again, I'm running the Ultimo tank on here. I've got the airflow pretty well closed off. I'm running at 45 watts. Let's see how it does. Yeah, it's really good. It does everything that I want it to. I think it's got a really nice feel to it. I was a little concerned with what a dual battery Joyetech eVic device would be like, but it's really comfortable. I like it. I like the way that the buttons feel. It does have a good amount of weight to it. Again, it's got 2 batteries in there, but that's going to kind of happen. But even with the single battery sled on there, it's still kind of hefty. It's a little more than the eVic VTC Mini, I think. Overall, I think it's a really clever design. I like how you get to your batteries with the dual battery mode. With the single battery mode, I think it could have been a little bit better, but it's still not that bad, and it means it's going to be more secure if you were to drop your device or anything, so you're less likely to damage your batteries. Overall, I'd say I'm really satisfied with this device. I think Joyetech did a really great job. They gave you the option for a dual battery device, still with the option of running it with a single battery. Now with that, you can't just buy 2 batteries and use them in either mode. You do have to run a married set of batteries in the dual battery mode. If you're running in single battery mode, just use a separate battery that isn't one of your married batteries. That's just basic. It's keeping your batteries married. It's safe. But aside from that, I'm just really impressed overall. I think they did a wonderful job. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Be sure to like the video if you like the video, and be sure to subscribe for all the latest and greatest videos from Vaporleaf. Thanks for watching. Bye.